it's up to me to deliver, and that's why I'm saying it has to happen.
A lot of hurdles to overcome, but if he's serious about the fight and if it can get made, there's a very good chance we'll do it.
And we are talking now about the future. Let's see.
Are you really talking about a fight between him and Anthony Joshua?
Why not?
The thing is, we can never know until we keep on chatting.
Anthony Joshua has officially accepted Jake Paul's fight offer ahead of the Tyson Fury bout, and he's completely locked in. "I'm focused on fighting him now. That's it," Joshua said. He isn't bothered by comparisons or outside noise. He's sharpening every skill to dismantle Jake Paul with precision and authority.
I'm just focused on fighting him now. That's it. That's what I'm focused on. No questions.
Dave Allen didn't hold back while talking about Jake Paul's chances. "Anthony Joshua cannot be threatened," he said, pointing out Paul's lack of endurance and real boxing skill. According to Allen, even if Jake Paul manages to land a punch, it won't make a difference. Joshua's experience, strength, and ring IQ completely overshadow him, making the matchup almost laughable.
Jake Paul lost to Tommy Fury. Anthony Joshua cannot box Jake Paul. Horrific. He's dangerous for one, and two, if Jake Paul even lands a glove on him, it just diminishes everything that he's achieved. Jake Paul won't last 2 minutes for me. Never mind Anthony Joshua, it's ridiculous.
Tyson Fury believes Jake Paul might shock people, claiming that Anthony Joshua is a spent force. He acknowledges Jake Paul's rise and his impressive heavyweight frame, but this take overlooks Joshua's vast experience and raw power. Fans understand that in a real fight, Joshua's precision, discipline, and championship pedigree would take over.
About tune up, I think Jake Paul knocks him out.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Why so? What impresses you about Jake Paul?
I just think Jake Paul would knock AJ out. I think AJ's a spent force, and I think Jake Paul's on the rise. I like his new heavyweight look.
Derek Chikora cautions that Jake Paul could be dangerous only if Anthony Joshua underestimates him. He stresses that Joshua must establish dominance early and showcase his knockout power. Chizora's warning is clear. Joshua's strategy, experience, and control are the key factors, and any lapse in focus could be costly.
I will say this to AJ. Don't let that guy knock you out, because that will be fucking nightmares forever. But one or two.
Joe Rogan points out the massive financial gap in this matchup, emphasizing the risk versus reward dynamic. With Anthony Joshua's dominance, status, and proven pedigree, he stands as the obvious favorite. Jake Paul might gain publicity, but Joshua controls both the narrative and the ring. A win for Joshua wouldn't just be decisive, it would be emphatic and career-defining.
They're talking right now about doing Anthony Joshua, Jake Paul.
I know, I saw that.
Jake Paul apparently wants that fight. And he agreed to, I think it was 99% to 1, where Joshua gets 99% of the money and he gets 1%.
Jake Paul probably doesn't care about the money,
well,
but
he has plenty of money, and if he won, oh my God, if he beat Anthony Joshua.
Jake Paul may welcome the challenge of facing Anthony Joshua, but his bravado can't match the skill and experience of a true world champion. Despite his confidence, the reality is clear. Joshua's power, technique, and composure in high-pressure moments make him the overwhelming favorite in this matchup.
Like that. But I said to Jake Paul, you ain't in a box, mate. This ain't David Blaine. I said, so just be careful, because AJ will take your head clean off your shoulders, and it's dangerous.
Yeah.
And you take on that responsibility, and we all have to. So we got to think about that. But this is Anthony fighting a top 50 cruiserweight in the world. It's not something that we would normally do.
Jake Paul welcomes the challenge of facing Anthony Joshua, but bravado alone can't bridge the gap between them. No matter how confident he appears, the truth remains. Joshua's power, technique, and calm under high-pressure moments make him the overwhelming favorite in this matchup.
And so I like the challenge. People, that's the criticism. Fight someone in their prime who's a beast. I think people just want to see me lose. That's really what the message is behind it all. And Anthony Joshua is an insane fight, but I want that challenge. We've been DMing back and forth. He wants to make it happen.
Tony Bellew is convinced Jake Paul wouldn't survive in the ring with Anthony Joshua. He says Joshua would control every moment of the fight and dictate the entire pace. If this bout happens, Joshua's superior skill and power would ensure Jake Paul wouldn't last more than a few rounds. because Joshua decides how the fight ends. The reality is simple. Joshua's elite experience and world-class boxing IQ make him an unstoppable force here, and fans should expect a masterclass performance that exposes any overconfidence Jake Paul brings.
The ring,
Josh and Jake.
Yeah.
I don't believe it. I don't believe a single thing until I see him in the ring. I don't believe any. Even if they come together for a press, I don't believe it. I don't genuinely believe he will climb into a boxing ring with 10-ounce gloves on with Anthony Joshua. It won't happen. It can't.
Hypothetically, if it does, how long does it last?
As long as Josh wants it to.
Duke McKenzie highlights the massive financial incentive for Anthony Joshua, calling this potentially the easiest fight of his career. While Jake Paul might gain attention, Joshua's dominance isn't up for debate. A single clean punch from Joshua could end the entire fight, reminding everyone that this is a world-class champion facing an untested opponent. For Jake Paul, the risk is enormous. Joshua's precision, timing, and raw power make it almost guaranteed that he will control every second in the ring. This matchup would only reinforce why Anthony Joshua remains one of the most feared heavyweights in modern boxing.
It'll be the easiest fight of his career. If he wants to get 100 million and not even break sweat, you know, you take the fight. Is it going to enhance his stock as the world's #1 contender? Not at all, because nobody's going to take Jake Paul seriously. But on the other hand, I don't even want to play devil's advocate. What if Joshua hurts this guy, seriously hurts this guy, and puts his...
Logan Paul points to Anthony Joshua's frightening knockout power, referencing the brutal Francis Ngannou fight as proof. He admits Jake Paul's boxing experience is tiny compared to Joshua's elite skill set. This matchup could end quickly if Joshua lands anything clean. Fans should expect a technical, dominant masterclass that wipes away any doubt about Joshua's supremacy in the heavyweight division.
The Joshua thing is crazy.
Is that a real conversation?
Jake's a fucking lunatic, and it's probably real. I saw Joshua knock out Francis Ngannou, and the guy was like out cold for 5 minutes. And this is a guy who had never been knocked down, let alone knocked out.
If he steps in the ring with him, and actually a bell rings and there are punches thrown, every bit of Jake Paul is not a real boxer conversation is gone forever.
Tony Bellew calls this matchup a complete mismatch and warns of the serious danger Jake Paul would face. He emphasizes that Anthony Joshua's experience, power, and ring intelligence make this an extremely high-risk fight for someone as unproven as Paul. Jake Paul might be motivated by money, but his health and career would be on the line. As a seasoned world champion, Joshua controls the ring and every scenario within it, making him virtually unbeatable against a fighter of Paul's level. Fans should expect Joshua to dominate with ruthless efficiency and expose Jake Paul's limits in every single exchange.
It's just a gross mismatch.
Yeah.
Like, you don't understand his health is in jeopardy. So, I'm not even entertaining it. I just think it's dangerous. And listen, I might have to work it, but it's just...
It's kind of ludicrous, isn't it, really?
It's insane. This boy is nuts. He's nuts, and I think he's putting his life before he's putting his life.
Tommy Fury stresses the overwhelming dominance Anthony Joshua would have over Jake Paul. Even with disadvantages, Joshua's power, speed, and skill make him practically unstoppable. His comments highlight the massive gulf between a seasoned heavyweight champion and an inexperienced challenger. Fans should expect a performance defined by total control and precision, with Anthony Joshua proving exactly why he's regarded as a heavyweight legend capable of dismantling anyone in front of him, even in under a minute if needed.
But if I can beat Jake Paul, then excuse my French, what the fuck is Anthony Joshua going to do to Jake Paul? I think my dad said that AJ could beat him with his prick, and I completely will back that up. Even if AJ had a broken arm in there, it still wouldn't go.
Johnny Nelson acknowledges the financial attraction Jake Paul brings for Anthony Joshua, but he questions the sporting legitimacy of the matchup. He explains that this isn't about true competition, it's pure spectacle. Joshua's skill, power, and experience are on a completely different level compared to Jake Paul. The public may respect Paul's hustle, but once they step into the ring, the gap becomes undeniable. For Joshua, it's a calculated business move. For Paul, it's a serious risk. Fans should expect Joshua to dominate with the precision, strategy, and force only a world-class heavyweight can deliver.
If I was at this stage of his career, I'd take Jake Paul. I'd take Jake Paul because there's more money there. If it was real, I don't think it's real. I think it's bullshit. I think Jake Paul has I think it's bullshit. I think it's Jake Paul.
Derek Chikora makes it clear that Jake Paul simply doesn't have the power to threaten Anthony Joshua. The fight would be a complete mismatch in both experience and skill. Kizora says fans should expect Joshua to impose himself with brutal precision and absolute authority in the ring. Jake Paul may create drama outside the ropes, but inside, Joshua's power and tactical superiority would overwhelm him. The possibility of Jake Paul needing medical attention is real if he underestimates Joshua's ferocity. With Joshua's world championship pedigree, any hope of a Paul upset is wildly unrealistic. This fight would only reinforce Joshua's dominance and expose the limits of celebrity boxing.
Whatever happens will be exciting.
Does he have the power to knock out Joshua?
Nah, he hasn't got the power to knock out Joshua.
How does that fight end?
Jake Paul going to an ambulance, bro.
Spencer Oliver explains that Anthony Joshua sees this matchup as a strategic money move rather than a true sporting challenge. To Joshua, it's an easy win that keeps him active while generating massive revenue. While some fans may question the decision, Joshua's team views it as smart career management. Jake Paul may bring hype, but once the bell rings, Joshua's technical skill, experience, and explosive power make him untouchable. This fight is all about financial gain with minimal risk for Joshua. Any belief that Paul can genuinely compete is unrealistic. Joshua will control the pace, the timing, and the outcome with complete precision.
Well, Anthony Joshua is talking about wanting warm-up fights before going into bigger fights, but look, it's prize fighting at the end of the day, and the way that Joshua will see it, and Matchroom and all the team, the fans won't like this, by the way.
I don't like it
No,
either.
I don't like it either. But the way that Joshua will see it is as a money grab. He'll see it as an easy money grab, but at this stage of his career, is it a fight he should be taking?
Showtime emphasizes Jake Paul's lack of real boxing experience and questions why anyone would consider him a serious threat to Anthony Joshua. Joshua has faced and beaten world-class opponents, and his preparation, skill, and power are levels above anything Paul has experienced. This fight is more show than sport. Joshua's dominance is not only expected but inevitable. Paul's absence of amateur grounding and limited professional background make him an easy target. Fans should anticipate a display of superior technique, strength, and strategy. A performance that reinforces Joshua's status as a top heavyweight with unmatched authority over anyone who steps into the ring with him, especially Jake Paul.
Joshua, and why would Anthony AJ Joshua take this fight in Jake Paul? Here's the thing, that shouldn't confuse you either. It ain't like Anthony AJ Joshua has never done this before. Taking on Jake Paul, who has had no heavyweight experience, no amateur background, has only fought a handful of professional boxers, one in which Tommy Fury defeated him.
The weight concept confirms that Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul is officially set, creating massive buzz for a blockbuster showdown in Miami. Anthony Joshua enters with world-class skill, explosive power, and elite championship experience. Jake Paul, on the other hand, remains completely untested against a true heavyweight. Fans should expect Joshua to dominate every round with superior technique, timing, and precision. This fight serves as a showcase of Joshua's mastery and a clear reminder that celebrity fame can't compete with real boxing pedigree. Jake Paul will face a level of pressure and skill unlike anything he's ever seen, and Joshua's dominance will likely be obvious from the opening bell to the final second.
Coppinger, Anthony Joshua, and Jake Paul are finalizing a deal for a heavyweight fight on Netflix in December in Miami, sources tell The Ring's Mike Coppinger. Paul steps up to fight former heavyweight champion after his exhibition with Gervonta Davis.
The weight concept again confirms that Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul is officially happening, setting up one of the most talked about events in Miami. Joshua brings unmatched skill, power, and championship-level experience. Meanwhile, Jake Paul has never been tested against a legitimate heavyweight threat. Fans should expect Joshua to control the fight entirely, round after round, with elite technique, precision, and ring intelligence. This matchup is a platform for Joshua to display his true talent and to highlight the massive gap between celebrity boxing and world-class competition. From the first bell to the final moment, Joshua's dominance is expected to be undeniable.